My name is Nina Zeta. I am Director of Partnerships at Sidewalker Daily, and today I kind of wanted to talk to my community a little bit more about creative ways to monetize your social media influence, to monetize, to make money on the side, to make a living. And the reason I call it creative ways is because being an influencer is freaking hard work. Now, I am not a travel blogger or influencer. While I have a travel Instagram account that has 70,000 plus followers, I focus more on the brand side. I work with brands and I do their influencer marketing. But the reason, because I'm kind of in the middle, I feel like I can hop back and forth. And I wanted to talk about creative ways because I get that a lot of you are trying to ride the influencer wave or trying to leave your jobs. And you guys have an influence, but you don't really know how to monetize. You don't really know how much to charge, this, that, the other. And to those that are, looking to live a more nomadic lifestyle, to be able to travel, this video is going to give you some ideas on ways to monetize that are a little bit out of the box. So let's jump in. So if you're a travel blogger that's going on press trips, you probably have already realized that a lot of them do not pay. And the reason is because on press trips, you're getting everything covered for you. Flights, transfers, meals, accommodations, activities. I mean, they can be really expensive, anywhere from like $4,000 to $6,000, $7,000 per person. So yes, you may not be able to get monetized on the press trip portion, but you may be able to monetize for on the brand side. So let's just say you're going to the Bahamas and you're going with their tourism board and they're not paying, but they're gonna give you this full amazing experience. If you can then go to other brands that would make sense with the destination that you're visiting and pitch to them, be like, hey, I'm gonna be traveling to the Bahamas. You're a swimwear company. I would love to pitch to create a lookbook for you while I'm on, on destination. I can provide these images with 5, 6 different bikinis. I can provide you X, Y, Z, come up with all that on your own, but that's a way to monetize this free trip. So the tourism board is getting you the content, and then the way that you're monetizing is by going to brands that make sense with that destination and ask to work with them. I mean, a lot of times brands, let's just say a swimwear brand, can't afford to be going to all these tropical destinations, right? They can't be doing these full-scale photo shoots, but they may be able to pay you for a few photos that show their swimsuit, in the Bahamas with the pigs and the whole little situation. You guys know what I'm talking about. But that's like a creative way, right? So you're figuring out a third party to pay you for something that you may have gotten for free. A other way to work or to monetize your social media influence is once you give the brand that you're working with the required photos. So let's just say they said, I had an influencer go on a press trip and she was required, or actually it was a couple, they were required to do 5 photos each on their Instagram, which they did. But the client loved their work so much that they were like, can they send us a contact sheet of other photos that they took on property, even if they're not in it, and we'd be willing to pay for those. So though they went on this press trip for free, they went back to the client and upsold them, or upsold, whatever. They were able to show, hey, monetize on something that they already went to and get paid for their content. So they delivered on what they said they were going to deliver, but they sold after the fact all this extra content that was available. And sometimes that's when you need to get creative when you're on trips and on locations. Don't just take photos maybe of yourself. If you're in a hotel lobby that's really beautiful, like photograph it, make video reels that aren't necessarily about you, but more about them, and then go back to them and see if they'd be willing to purchase it from you. Another idea on how you can monetize your social media influence, even if you're a micro influencer and you don't have like tons of followers, you still know a thing or two about social media. And that can be a lot more than the local mom and pop shops in your town. If you can pitch yourself as a social media consultant, I can't tell you how many people, including myself, started this way. I was doing social media for other brands and they wanted to work with me because at the time Sidewalker was, I don't know, maybe had a smaller following. Now we're at 70,000, but you know, we had to get there, but people were like, oh, you clearly know about social. I'm like, yeah, I do. And I know how to grow the account because I know how to provide good, valuable content, and I know how to connect with my community, and I can teach you, brand, how to do the same thing. And that's like, again, you know, you're now becoming a social media consultant to potentially the places that you are working with. So again, if you did a press trip, you could now go back to them and be like, hey, I'd love to, you know, work with you on your social, who's managing it. And this is something you can do remotely. And it pays pretty well. I mean, of course it's going to range, but let's make an easy number. Let's just say each account that you're managing pays you $1,500 a month, and you have 4 accounts that you're managing. That's already $6,000 a month that you're making being a social media consultant. And now you can travel, you're earning money, you're getting paid, you're working with people in the industry ideally, but maybe they're not in your industry. You're still just doing social media, you're in it. And it gives you flexibility. So don't sleep on positioning yourself as a social media consultant. Another thing that you can do to monetize your social media is sell a service. Are you a really good photo editor? Do you have, you know, I've seen micro influencers too that have presets and they know how to edit a photo. People on the brand side are willing to pay for those services. So maybe we're not going to pay for you to go on a trip, but maybe you could sell just your, you know, your graphic design skills. Maybe if you like, okay, this is a really good example. Let's just say a hotel that you have your eyes on posted a flyer for a event that they wanted people to come to. I have seen like big name hotels and their flyers can be so scary looking. You're just like, this is insane. I could do way better. And on Canva, you can then now go to them with that same flyer, recreate it, send them the version, sorry about that you created yourself, and now show them for free. There's no money behind it. It's just opening the door, the conversation. Hey, I noticed that you guys did this flyer. I have a skill in graphic design. I am super passionate about your brand and graphic design. I went and made one for you. I just wanted to submit it for your, you know, I'd love to talk to you guys more, this, that, but keep it simple. Don't go hard in for the sell. Open the conversation, show them your skill set, include a link to your portfolio. And that's another way that you can now, you know, monetize your skill or service that you can provide them. Another way that you can consider monetizing, you know, if you're traveling a lot and you have your, you know, your home or a place that you're renting, you may want to list it. Obviously, make sure it's approved with your landlord and all that good stuff if you're not an owner. But that's, again, you're getting creative. You're putting your money hat on and you're like, okay, I'm not going to be in this apartment. I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time to make a little bit more so that I can fund this nomadic life. Put your apartment on rent, or put the place that you're staying, you know, list it. Another idea is you can also, you know, whether maybe it's teaching English abroad. I mean, I'm English, I should be able to say the word. Teaching English abroad. I've seen a lot of travel bloggers do things that, you know, hook up with a local agency where they can teach. This gives them the ability to travel as well as teach. Now, these are just some ideas that, you know, we came up with. It's ultimately up to you to get creative. You can do one of them, you can mix them, and you may even find out like, hey, I don't even want to be an influencer or a travel blogger. I found something else that I'm really passionate about. You know, you want to live a nomadic life. You don't want to be working your 9 to 5. So you need to get creative and figure out ways that you can monetize. The time is now. It is super easy to sell yourself and be able to work remotely because there's so many things that you can self-teach, even doing websites. Like I built the Sidewalker Daily website, zero idea how to build it. But then I went to a client and was like, hey, this is what I did for my site. Do you like it? Because I can do it for you and I can charge for that. So don't be shy to sell these services. You just need to show proof of what you can do. Like I said, with the flyer or the website, get creative and find ways to monetize while you're building your empire. So if you like this video and you thought it was helpful, useful, smart, something, give it a like, give it a comment, tell me what you liked about it, tell me if you've used any of these ideas. I'd love to hear if they've worked out for you, and make sure you subscribe to our channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.